So in a past life, or it seems like it's a past life, I did play a pharmacologist on TV, so to speak. And as I was learning my pharmacology, there was a thing, structure based drug design, right? And that
Yeah.
was at that point in time sort of the approach to doing exactly what you're talking about. So you take like use X-ray crystallography, you get this 3D structure of the target, and then you try to work backwards to engineer it. So I guess in this case, rather than having a chemist sit down and come up with, I don't know, 10 different structures that would fit that particular target, you can actually create like a much larger array for much and sort of be able to modulate different sensitivities or different actions of those molecules that you're generating.
Yeah, I mean, in principle, that's part of it. So, there's the structure-based drug discovery method, and then there's a ligand-based drug discovery method, and we actually will use both. So if there is a crystal structure and a co-crystallized ligand, and you're just trying to make a better, molecule, we'll use that. We do train on that. If there's just a crystal structure, we'll train on that. If you've got cryo-EM, we'll train on that. If there's homology, we'll train on it, right? And if you're really kind of desperate, we can train on like AF3 or whatever. But the fact of the matter is most of the predictive power of our model and our approach is largely based on the ligand-based side. So we don't need this exquisite three-dimensional, sort of like high resolution concept of the target and the binding pockets and everything like that. If they're there, of course, we'll use them, right? But where we get a lot of power is really on, we know what ligands have bound to the target, how they bind to the target. It doesn't really matter as much, um, because we have that experimental data from all of the drugs that have been approved, that have been published, that have been patented, as well as a lot of computational data that we've generated. So we have these labeled samples of actual molecules and their experimental binding affinities, the potencies, the phys chem properties, molecular weight, et cetera, and ADME properties. And that in turn serves to train our model. So going back to that sort of diffusion model example, like, for example, if you were to type out, a picture of a smiling girl with short black hair riding a red bicycle over a bridge, Midjourney would be able to generate some really, really cool images that are diverse. They're not all the same, but they fulfill every single property. And that's because it's been trained on like gajillions of examples of girl, black, bicycle, smiling, et cetera. These are labeled samples. So it knows what makes a smile, a bicycle, a bridge, and it's able to make these new ones. And that's really what we do. We train on pretty much every single, sort of ligand that has been, and we have all of the labeled data. And so as a result, it's able to go like, oh, okay, so this target product profile is different. Oh, you want this selectivity profile. Oh, and you want this and that. Okay, so now I'm going to generate that. And so it's different from sort of fragment based stuff where you start with the pocket and then you're trying to build. It's really largely based on the ligand side, but also with a lot of transfer from the structure. But it's a very robust model as well, and it can ingest and intake. It has already, because it's trained and ready to go. So it's very much a robust model that's able to generate good high quality leads very rapidly and efficiently.